for me, even to this day, I have, because I feel like a lot of things go with you into adulthood from childhood, and it's a struggle. You do grow, sometimes you overcome, but some things linger a little longer, right? So for me, I made myself buy a Prius with my first big check, right? I said, look, you're not allowed to go ahead and Ballin, you know? Not allowed to play that card, man. You know, there'll be a day you can play that card, maybe, you know what I mean? But right now, we're not gonna play that one. We're just gonna be a little conservative and do what needs to be done and ball out just a little differently. You know what I mean? But we're not gonna do it on the whip right away.
Right.
You know? There's just choices to make, man, and right now, as an athlete who wants to have a great career for himself, looking at a minimum of 5 years, a maximum of 10 years still in the sport, at the end of the day, it's very important that I get my finances in row, right? So, being the mixed brother I am, understanding a little bit of white history, black history, I came across a new sport last year. I now play golf, right? And I didn't know I was gonna fall in love with golf, but I am a nature's boy.
It's so relaxing.
And spending 2.5 hours in Mother Nature, that's my kind of life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Concentrating, trying to whack at this little ball, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But it's a challenge. I'm up for the challenge because I'm an athlete. You know, I like to challenge myself, and I do like to get into new things from time to time. So the funny thing is, my boy gave me some golf tips, and it was real simple. Like, keep your elbows in, champ.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I know he's throwing out a golf tip, and golf is a dominantly white man sport. So I'm like, that sounds like a white boy tip, right? And then like a few holes go by, I'm on the fairway, and I'm like, all right, why don't you, try to keep your elbows in, this, that. I do a swing, and it did pretty good for myself. I turn over to him, and I go, that white boy tip helped though, you know? And he was Latin.
Okay.
So I said, now see, you should have took the white boy tip coming from a Latin person, because, you know, the native Indians and everything back in the day, they let you know if the white man speak before tongue.
Right.
You know, so if a colored person is giving you a white boy tip, it's gotta be a legitimate white boy tip. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's the little mixed humor I have in me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, the funny thing is, ever since I started playing golf and I messed around saying the white boy tip this, the white boy tip that, I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm half white, I'm half black. Half of the shit I do needs to be on some white boy tip status, okay?
Right.
I don't have a credit card, bro.
No way, are you serious?
Look, I'm giving you insight on the life of one time. I don't have a credit card.
That's crazy.
Look.
No credit card, no debit card either?
I got a debit card.
Oh, okay, okay. Just no credit card.
Credit card.
Okay.
Okay? Now,
that's good though.
that's the brother in me that's like, look, I'm gonna make my money. We're gonna pay for shit. We're gonna pay for shit. Alright? Them two Mustangs I got, Cub, I paid for them shit. The house I bought, Cub, I paid that shit.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Nothing wrong with that though.
And hey, and blessed to me being able to do that with my life. You know what I'm saying? But there are other ways to live.
Yeah.
Okay? And I have a white boy in me that's saying, I need a credit card. Actually, I got white boys out here telling me I need a credit card. And
because you gotta have credit.
And I'm about to start listening to them. Okay? I'm about to tell that black in me, look, calm down. You can still play on outdoor courts or do whatever you want to do, dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's other brotherly things you can do in life, but you need to pick up some of these white boy tips. Okay? You need to get your credit in line. You need to get your finances in line. You need to pay attention to your bookings. There was once upon a time where I had 7 figures in the bank, but they were shutting my lights off because I didn't pay my bills on time.
That's crazy.
Okay?
That's crazy.
Now that's just to let you know that what happens, man. You don't know how people who got money, you don't know what their lifestyle is really like and how they living, okay? It ain't always perfect. Sometimes more money, more problems.
Right.
But really, it's the problems that we create by being irresponsible people, okay? So now that I'm finally 28 years old, my mindset is changing from when I was 22 years old. and year after year after year paying taxes, always pushing and doing the extended stuff. This year I'm like, let's pay these taxes on time. Let's start giving them the quarterlies, and let's start doing all this, and let's do what you're supposed to do as a proper businessman, okay? And that's the real reality. The real reality is there's a right way to conduct business, and there's a right way to live life, right? You know what's good in your heart, and you know what's bad in your heart. You know what I'm saying? So in reality, none of this stuff has to do with color, black and white and this and that. But stereotypically, growing up in America, you see success in predominantly white families, educated families. When the father is a doctor, the mother is a realtor, they both got college educations, and all three of their kids went to college. You know what I'm saying? And then you go to a mixed family, or you go into where there's less money, and both parents dropped out of high school, and the kid is debating whether or not they want to finish high school. None of my friends that I grew up with, my dear friends, closest to me, not one of them finished high school. Wow. And not one of them had a mother and father in the household. Damn. So when you grow up and you reflect on this, and you start to understand the nature of reality and how things tend to be was stereotype, right? Right? You can categorize things in statistics, right? But statistics are ran, and then they're calculated, and they have an outcome, and they might not be perfectly accurate, but they do hold merit. They do hold truth behind them. And then through my own reflection and understanding the life that I lived, and reflecting on how the life that my family, but the friends of my families, you know, almost I got a lot of people that almost call me their son. I used to eat at their dinner tables, all sorts of stuff. I'm welcome to the house at any time. You know what I mean? And I love and respect them always. You know. But it is interesting that when you get to this situation, and even when I was younger, I could tell, because one thing I was good with was math. And I could tell that, you know, typically America doesn't expect a young man to have anything to his name and rightfully owned by himself, or really start to develop a true life for himself until he's pushing on 30. Okay? Because of the way the educational system is. And then if you're not going through the educational system, you only have one other option. There's two real options in commerce in America. Okay? First option is through the educational system, aka the rat race. Everyone's doing it, but you might as well do it too. Okay? Second is entrepreneurship. Okay? And being an athlete is a form of entrepreneurship. You're basing your success on yourself. That's what other entrepreneurs do. You know, they find a niche, they find a craft, what you do, the way you spend your time, you know. But ultimately, you know, the advice, how I wanted to live my life and how I would advise anybody, my own siblings and anybody out there in the world, man, that's young, trying to figure out what they want to do, do something that's gonna make you happy. That when you wake up and you have to clock in, and just know that you chose that profession. You know, sometimes life gets at you. You have kids when you don't want to have kids, and you just got to start bringing money home. And all of a sudden, you find yourself in a situation you never wanted for yourself. But with love for the child, similar to the way my father raised my siblings, because he wasn't in my household and he had 3 other children. But I love my father to death and I respect him because he raised those children by himself, okay, as a single father. And he'll do anything for me, down to every last one of them. He'll do anything for his kids. His love for his kids made him love his job. It didn't matter what his job was. It was his love for his kids that made him love his job. You know? So at the end of the day, you gotta find a way to love and have a reason to love what you're doing and understand why you're doing it.